Welcome, everyone, to What the Flicks discussion of Downton Abbey, episode 4, I guess it is, of season 4. Dave Rubin.
That's
Ben
me.
Mankiewicz. Alonzo not here. Hopefully Dave will be joining us in the future.
Well, let's get through this one.
Let's get through
We'll
see how it
where
goes.
we're at. Yeah,
Right. So after sort of last week's difficult episode with the rape of Anna, now we're obviously that's a storyline, and by far the most interesting storyline. You know, far more than to me than Mary and Tony Gillingham. Although I like him and it's fine, but I mean
I've grown to like that guy quickly, but yes,
we've seen Mary, like this is again, like literally they're repeating it for different reasons exactly the same way.
Yeah, well, Mary, so let's start with that, and then we'll get to the good stuff. Mary, I mean, she's the character that I think most people are sort of growing tired of because exactly as you say, it's become this sort of repetitive thing. And then there is this element of how much can you sympathize with these people, the people that live upstairs, so to speak.
Right.
So yes, it's horrible. She lost her husband. Everybody loved him. But she's going through this again. Another rich suitor wants him. What I thought was interesting was that he wanted to marry her after what? He knew her for about 5 days or something. That's how much pressure these people are under to marry the right family. And all that kind of stuff I think is really interesting.
And then he says, I don't love the other girl, whatever her name is, Violet.
But I may have to.
Right, but he's like, but if you say no, I'd be honor bound. Dude, you don't love her. Mary, wait 2 months, you'll meet someone else super rich.
And didn't you think that was interesting? Because in the scene before that, when they were in the library, he said to her, take your time, I'll wait a year, I'll wait 2 years, I'll wait 3 or something like that. And then when they were out in the field, he said, basically, right? Didn't he make it seem?
It was confusing. I rewound a little bit there. I think he consistently said, if you tell me that this can happen, but you need to wait 2-3 years, no problem. I just need to know it's in the offing. And then, but if it's not, and you don't want to see me again, then I'll go back and marry this poor ugly girl I don't care about.
Right. And how does he get away with that?
I thought her ugliness was inferred.
Clearly inferred. But yeah, Mary sort of, I mean, that's just what the nature of the character is going to be. And in a way, it is kind of interesting, the fact that she was the star. This was the star daughter. And now Edith has become somehow, partly by default, because one of the daughters obviously is no longer around. All right, so let's talk about Edith for a sec there. Do we trust this guy? Like, is this, is he, it seems, he did, it was such a stand-up move with getting the IOUs back in the poker game. I'm going to say yes at this moment. However, I did watch the episode last night with 3 other people, and when he had her sign that thing.
Right, what did she sign?
And she didn't really look at it. There was a lot of words on there. Everyone else said, oh, that's it. And we know he's, a card shark, and we know he's
his misspent youth. He has these abilities, right? He's
for some reason, I think this may be her one. I mean, if she gets screwed over
again,
is
that his thing? Is he something else? Was there another guy who was a newspaper?
No. He's the newspaper man.
Okay. You can't trust those guys.
You can never trust anyone in the media. But that being said,
Yeah. So obviously, that's not a throwaway line about the signing.
No.
So if we saw it, it matters.
Right. And wouldn't she know at this point? Edith, you've got to have a lawyer around. I mean, has her father taught her nothing?
Well, okay, so now we'll keep putting it off. Let's talk about the father.
Okay.
So every week, Robert Crawley, the Earl of Grantham, says something that makes you laugh at him, because he is, I believe, the dumbest lead character in the history of television. I mean, this guy has squandered his fortune, his wife's fortune. He is on the cusp of squandering the fortune that Matthew rebuilt, right? Matthews. So now he's going to squander his grandson's fortune. And he had that wonderful transition nicely to Bates. So he and Bates have the moment where Bates admits that there's something wrong with the relationship with Anna. And the Earl says, well, what is it? And he explains, and he says, there's no such thing as a marriage between 2 intelligent people that does not sometimes have to negotiate thin ice. I know. You're not intelligent. Like you miss everything.
What I think is funny is he not only misses everything and has squandered all this money, but also now everyone in the family knows that he can never win an argument. Like nothing. Right. Even if it was about the wine that they're going to have for dinner, like Dad's getting screwed. And that's become very obvious. The fact that Mary sort of has the balls now to keep pushing this idea of what they're going to do with the estate and everything. She has how would she really know? I know Tom's given her some advice,
and Matthew
obviously
right.
did include her in some stuff. But even so, he seems to sort of be like the willful.
He's so dumb. He's so dumb, and he doesn't know, and he thinks he's the one sort of moving forward.
Yeah,
you know.
Maybe that's the nature. Maybe that's how you have to run an estate back then. You know what I mean? You had to do it that way.
He ends that line with, "You must wait until things become clear, and they will. The damage cannot be irreparable when a man and a woman love each other as much as you do." And then he had a great pause and says, "My goodness, that was strong talk for an Englishman." Yeah. It was a good line. It was a nice moment, and it was a nice moment between Bates and the Earl. So we're leading to something with Bates. Obviously, he's going to find out. He has to. It's too unsatisfying, I think, from a storytelling point of view for Bates not to know. And Anna is incapable. I mean, in one sense, I'm glad she's incapable. She does not have enough of a stiff upper lip here to sigh and push forward and bury this emotionally, which she's trying to.
Yeah.
But she's too emotional a person. She's too in touch with her feelings. She's a giant failure at this. Which is good.
It is good. Look, she was sort of the rock of the show. If you want to talk about one character not really changing that much since the beginning, she always was, in good spirits and always did the right thing and consistent and always good. And then, and then the worst thing happened to her. You know what it reminded me of? In 6 Feet Under. Remember when David he was with the guy that turned out to sort of be a meth junkie and ended up getting on this 24-hour caught in a car thing. Not in the specifics of the character as much as that someone in a show took a turn that you didn't expect that quickly. Yeah. And that's what this rape did, because it obviously alters everything that they're going to do with her going forward.
Yeah, and it's a great, they got all. I read that they got all kinds of criticism for it, which for whatever reason, that stuff drives me crazy. When fans of a show get offended because of something that they're bothered by something that happened to a character. I mean, obviously this is the kind of thing, and it is the very kind of thing that could have happened to someone like Anna, who is kind and trusting, and this guy was like, "Look at these new games I have," and she was like, "Great, something new and interesting," and I like new and interesting, and why we like her is why she participated in that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it does happen to her, and it gives them this wonderful ability, to give us what appears to be a pretty honest depiction of what life must have been like if you were in the downstairs world in that era. Like Alonzo and I talked about it last week. You know that when it gets out, and if there is a public discussion of it, that idiot Earl of Grantham will ask, maybe Bates will ask someone, do you think Anna could have led him on in some way? Like that's of
course.
And even those sympathetic with her will wonder, because it couldn't just be that a guy just
would have wanted,
just committed this horrible, violent, criminal sexual act. That can't be.
That
she must
can't
have
happen.
let him on. She was playing cards with him.
Well, she said, it's now she's filthy, and look,
right. And then we see all that. Like she literally feels it in the fiber of her being. She's filthy. She's dirty. She's unfit to be loved by Bates.
Yeah, I think you hit on something really interesting, and what makes the show so great. The upstairs downstairs nature of this. I wonder if it would be worse for a woman downstairs to have been raped in terms of reputation and everything than upstairs, because it's still all about reputation in both ways. If someone upstairs, if it had happened to Mary, let's say, well, her reputation and who she could have got married to, and then everything that would have happened with the estate and all that would have been completely altered. Someone like Anna doesn't have much of a room, unfortunately that's the way the system worked, to go
so
in
you're saying
life.
Could it have been worse for someone upstairs?
In a weird way, could it have been worse in terms of the trajectory of their life? And that's just a sad condemnation of the caste system, of
totally,
course. But that's what I kept thinking, is that this woman's life has been ruined, but the cap of what her life could have been. I know this sounds, I guess, a bit.
No, I see what you're saying. I mean, there's more latitude upstairs for how far you can fall. Essentially, or what you can be prevented from. The only thing it is, as what Bates mentioned is, and what I guess he mentions it, I think, in the coming up next, is that he says, you have to tell me what happened. One day I was, maybe he said in this episode, I don't know. One day I'd never been happier, and then the next day it was all gone. So in a sense, like, because they're normal, Bates and Anna, they had everything they could have. Like this was it. They hit payday. Like now all we got to do is spend 28 years waking up in the morning and we're aces.
Yeah.
and that obviously now is at risk of being taken away. I feel like there's going to be maybe a conversation between, I do these incredibly arrogant things of like, what would I write? A non-writer.
Please tell me, Benjamin.
Right. But I like the idea of a scene where when Bates finds out, because he has to find out, right, that Mrs. Hughes sort of talks him down, that tells him, what, Anna, you don't go after him. Anna needs you to be, what a man does right now is take care of Anna and nothing else. And you need to be there, and no one benefits by you committing some violent act on this clown.
I tend to think that's where it's going to go. Maybe not through Mrs. Hughes, although probably because she's now become like the Yoda of the whole house. She's even dealing with what's his name?
Now all of a sudden with Carson, we're already thinking, are they going to?
What's the deal there? Like, are they going to do it already? Right. It's like, come on.
And by doing it, we mean take a walk and hold hands.
I was going to say, just a firm handshake.
Right. Have tea, maybe rest each other's hands comfortably. That would be.
What do you think? Have we seen with Mrs. Hughes? Have we seen the full scope of her character? Because they're making her a little wider now that she's really. You see that she's becoming the person that holds the whole house together. Yeah. But are we going to find out some secret about her?
I don't know.
That's what I keep wondering.
She had the cancer scare, right? But I don't know. I hope not. But yeah, I mean, she does. She is like you thought it was Carson, but it's no.
But it's not.
It's not. It's Mrs. Hughes.
He just wanted to be in theater.
Yeah,
that's what happens if you don't get it out, that creative juice. You get a little uptight.
And that Carson relationship with that Charlie and that thing which I found like in the beginning, because I really couldn't. I had a tough time with those first couple episodes. The 2-hour premiere. I was like, oh, these people. And again with Thomas had a great line because every week I think, who trusts this guy now? Like, we know the truth is out about him.
Everybody knows.
So when he goes, if I may have a word, and then he tells you something, like, don't believe it. Like, but this time when she says, and you stop whatever to Daisy, stop having fun with her. Yeah. And he actually goes, I actually wasn't. Right. Actually, in this rare moment, I was just wondering what was going on.
It's funny. The Thomas thing, I think everyone thinks that. There's this thing, like he's already done this 20 times already. You know what I mean? O'Brien's gone now. He may have killed her. We don't know what the hell happened. But they already led in the next episode that there's going to be a new, the person that's replaced.
That he recommended.
That he recommended. And it's like, what? Remember, guys, what
if I may suggest someone? No, you mayn't.
Not this. You mayn't not.
You mayn't. Yeah, we're not going to have it. Yeah. Look, you're working here. You won. You kept your job somehow. Yeah. Right. But no, you can't recommend the next person. Although, again, you thought that Braithwaite and Thomas were going to have this little evil confrontation, this little evil cabal. Yeah. But no, they hate each other, and he won it. He won that little battle on the staircase. He had the. He is clever.
Yeah, that was actually a great. Both of their lines were particularly great. I won't misquote them.
Yeah, but it was that was a nice moment, and I liked that sort of Braithwaite was scuttled away this quickly. Like I wasn't looking forward to another sort of manipulative, duplicitous downstairs worker, sort of inexplicably. You know who else is dumb, by the way? The Lady Grantham too, the wife.
Right.
Again,
did you not pick up on any of this?
Like, these guys, they miss everything.
Do you? How much of that do you think is actually based in truth? Because that I do think is really interesting, and then it sort of shows the disconnect and how elite these people were. Maybe it really seems crazy to us that they're not picking up on these signs. Or I always think that Lady Grantham, that she'll be talking about very important private matters in front of them, as if they're not going to repeat them. And I wonder, really, maybe it is based in more truth than we think, because they're so elite. It's hard for us to grasp.
I think you're making a great point. I bet that there's some truth to that. That they talk so openly in front of them, so they're not quite people to them.
Yeah, exactly.
And therefore, they are the Lady Grantham or whatever. Is that what we call her?
Yeah.
Or is that the?
No, that's the dowager.
The wife.
Yeah, the wife. That's kind of funny too. After 4 seasons, exactly. I mean, we know the show pretty well.
That Lady Grantham is like. Therefore, she never saw O'Brien's manipulative nature.
Right.
And they're both missing Thomas's, and they missed Braithwaite's, because they don't even ascribe fully human characteristics to these people. That they couldn't be that conniving. They're just servants.
Right. And that's why when Mary had the moment of slightly acknowledging that something was wrong with Anna, and then Anna just basically ignored it and walked out of the room. It's like she had that brief moment of, oh, this is a human.
Yeah, it's a little better in that generation. It's not fully better, but it's definitely a little better in that generation.
Yeah, and so I think maybe, although it seems a little silly when you're watching it and you think, how do they not realize all this stuff's going on? It probably is actually based in more factual truth than maybe we give it credit for.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's right. I need to stop seeing it as a lack of development of those characters, but rather a sort of interesting portrayal of those characters.
Yeah.
Finally, I guess I want to mention Tom, because Tom had that moment that seemed un-Tom-like, but it was too quick, where, you know, he was very polite to the black singer,
Yeah.
but, you know, he didn't shake his hand, and he did do the task of getting her away, but he did kind of have a grin on his face, like, she's going to go out, this black guy, this is going to be funny.
Right. Well, you know, that just goes to show how, of course, pervasive racism was and obviously is. And Tom, who you expect to be the stand-up guy who wants to change the world, and he's progressive, and we can appreciate all those things, that even he, of course, you know.
We can't have this. We can't have. Or is he just part of the family now, and he's like, Tom, go get her out of this, and he's like, all right, this is what I do now. This is the man I've become, that I now do this.
That's interesting. I think it was more the former. I think it was more he's still a person, and at that time that was frowned upon. So I think it was still coming from him. But yeah, of course he was doing his family duty.
It could have been part of both. It could have been, who knows? Or maybe later he's going to say to her, "You shouldn't do this, but if you need a ride, I'll give it to you." You know. Now, this is the actual last thing, and I asked this last night, and it's too obvious, it's too crazy, but I mean, there are these moments now where we have a slight connection between, and we know that it would appear that Lady Mary is headed for a relationship with this guy who I think is going to be, I don't even know, I thought he was announced as her new love interest. So.
Oh, really? So you don't think he's gone after this? You don't think that was the kiss goodbye?
I think he's a little too good looking to be gone.
Ah, interesting.
And also, what might, of course, get him gone is that we know we have to deal with him more because his man is the rapist. Like, would it be crazy? Like, why wouldn't? Is there ever a moment where Mary and Tom, they have so much in common? They share an interest in the estate. They work together. They have had now a couple of small, meaningful conversations. They're of the same generation. They each I mean,
Right. I mean, they're bonding over
they're already family, but they're allowed to fuck.
Right. Technically, they can fuck.
Technically, they can.
They do have interest in Downton Abbey. That is the name of the show.
Right.
Maybe it all comes. You know what? That has not struck my mind before then. It seems a little incestuous for me, but obviously you're willing to go down that path in a way.
Anyway, I think it's curious. I doubt it, but it's. I thought it worth mentioning.
I'm going to take note of that, and hopefully we'll do this again, and I can shed some light on it.
And it just occurred, one of the first things we asked was about Edith and whether that guy's to be trusted. And with the paperwork, it's obvious. Something's going on. Yeah. Something is going on. I'm not 100% sure what it is, but something's going on. But the fact that Lord Grantham now likes him for obvious reasons, means that he can't be a good guy.
Because the man has not made one sensible decision.
He's the worst judge of character ever.
Yeah.
So therefore, he's wrong about this guy.
Yeah. Well, then I think we've gotten some answers here.
All right. Next week, Dave, if he's around, will definitely be back. Thank you.
Sounds good.